Okay, City of Greendale Board of Public Works, August 13, 2025, 5 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting in order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. We need the approval of the July 9th, 2025 minutes, please.
Got a motion?
Got a first.
Second.
Got a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Need approval of the bills and claims.
Make a motion to approve all bills and claims properly submitted.
I have a first.
I'll second.
Charlie has a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Any audience comments? All right, Chief, you're up, buddy.
All right, I got the police report for the month of July. We had total calls of service of 377. Year-to-date is 3,120. We wrote 13 traffic citations, bringing us to 132 on the year. 12 criminal arrests, 22 crash reports. That year-to-date is 55. New case reports is 21. Year-to-date is 212. Training for the month, Officer Donnerworth completed his drug recognition expert training, the DRE.
Thank you. Okay. Jan?
The fire report for the month of July, we ended up with 21 calls. So far in August, we're up to 10. Year-to-date, 196 calls. Compared to last year on this date, we're up 30 runs more than last year right now. Out of those 21 calls, we had a dumpster fire up in Hidden Valley on the dam. We had a call to Willie's for smoke in the building. We had a call to the cinema. We had a child's hand stuck in a gaming machine.
Eventful month, sounds like.
We had a fatal accident on US 50 in front of Sinclair truck stop. We had a car fire that originally started as a car fire on Decker that caught the side of the house on fire also. We had a pickup truck strike 2 motorcycles with a total of 4 people on. There's 2 on each motorcycle, and then the pickup truck ran over one of the passengers. And then we assisted Lawrenceburg landing a helicopter at the boat docks for an incident that they had. Out of the 21 calls, 16 of those were in the city. 2 of those were in the city of Lawrenceburg, and 3 of those were in Lawrenceburg Township that we cover. We had an average response time of 8 minutes. Our busiest day of the week in the month of July was on Wednesdays, with 5 of those hitting on Wednesdays. And our busiest call volume fell between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Any questions?
Nope. Thank you. Thank you guys. All right.
You have your EMS report in front of you for July. We had 79 calls. That brought us up to 519. After that, at the end of the month, we're close to 140 more calls than what we were last year. So our average time en route was a minute. Time we got on the scene was 4. Rendering care on the scene was 15 minutes, and time we arrived at the hospital was 9 minutes. Out of those calls, 50 of those were during the day shift, 29 during the evening shift. 60 of those were in the city of Greendale, 10 were in the county, and 9 were mutual aid, 1 to Harrison and 8 to Lawrenceburg. Out of those calls, 47 were treated and transported to a hospital, 22 refused care at the scene, 7 were no patient contacts, and 3 were cancer before or once we arrived on the scene. We got news update on our second ambulance. We are going down to Florida either the first or second week of January. It did get bumped back because of tariffs. was their explanation, and workforce issues going on down in Florida. So that is when we're scheduled to go to do the final inspection.
Sounds like better timing to me.
Yeah, it's been 4 years in the making, so, yeah,
4 years.
almost 4 years, yeah. So,
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, unfinished business. Soccer field project, in the packet, you'll see the pay app. Bear Becker has signed off, and that should be completed. That'll make it final, correct, Becky? Once we pay it, we are
The
done.
soccer field, the pay app is in the packet.
Right, once it goes out. Okay, Oakey Avenue repaving project, that pay app is also in the packet. HWC has signed off, and we are gonna finish that project as well.
I got a couple questions.
Sure.
So, the one I printed off that we got, was that the $36,699? That looks like this was something from Oakey Avenue, progress payment number 2.
Well,
And then there's, I think Becky, you just put one next to us here.
right, this is the final on the Oakey Avenue.
So was this the 36, we've already paid that one? Do you know?
38,395. They're both,
The total job's gonna be 560,000 and change, right? 862.90? No.
which
I think
project are we talking about? Sorry.
Oakey.
Okay,
well-
we paid the 471. Yes, the total project is 560, 862.90.
Okay.
We paid the 471. We owe them the 89,116.
Yeah. So we had HWC, a gentleman by the name of Kevin Hayes,
I
go
was
through
just-
all the tickets and put it all
Okay.
back together.
I was just looking at what was in the agenda that we got via email, and I printed it off. I kind of go through it, obviously, but I was
Right.
just curious. It said at the bottom, amount this period was 36,699.78. I thought that might have been something that we were paying this go-round. Maybe not.
No, I think this is the final right here.
Okay. And then I do want to note that if you look on, it's going to be item number 8, which is the wedge. They had 350 ton, was in the planned quantity, and Rowe put down 528 ton of
Yeah.
wedge. So there was our problem that happened with the road being elevated where
Super high.
super high.
Yeah.
Anyway, do
That
you
was
need,
that was all before us.
do you need a motion on these?
Yes.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, so Rowe, I approve, or make a recommendation to approve the final payment for Rowe to the tune of, is it $89,116.09, if I'm reading that right?
Yes.
To finish out the Oakey Avenue
Okay.
project, the CCMG project.
And just so we're clear, we do have to return some funds to NDOT, correct? Around 17,000.
Okay.
Second.
Got a first and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and
Becky, do you want the same for the soccer field project?
I would say yeah.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So that's the, Paul Rowe also, Greendale Soccer Field for $208,650 even, it looks like. And you got another one, there's 2 apps in there,
Yes, the other one's 38,000.
$1,595, and that's the total, that job's completed if we pay those 2 invoices, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I make that motion.
So first, I have a second.
I'll second it.
First and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And Vince
Yes, ma'am.
Bearbecker reviewed that one, correct?
What's it? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Bridge Avenue, future CCNG project, talked to Archie at Land Consulting, and they are finishing up their project, or their surveying for us. Nowlan Avenue water main replacement, Rezos has provided a engineering estimate of $1,166,895.04 for the project, in today's dollars, but it's a project that will get pushed, to next year as we budget for it. So when will we push that out? What's, as far as,
Did Bob leave? There's Bob.
Yeah.
Go ahead, what?
when will we put that on the streets, like in January or February? Or?
I like putting stuff out like wintertime, early, late winter, so it's on the street. You get some good numbers, people ready to rock and roll
In the spring?
in the spring and go, yeah.
Okay.
So if you can get that thing, you know, we're gonna do it in phases too, right?
Yes, phase one is from the.
Underpass, right?
Underpass.
That's what we wanted to do.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I think that's-
We wanna work south. Yeah.
I like that.
Are we gonna do them both next year?
Well, it all depends on the money, you know, we raised the water rates and to try to, but, we have to give Becky a budget number and see how the money's coming in.
Right.
For the revenue.
Okay.
So, okay.
I don't wanna get too far in the weeds. Bob, you're feeling pretty comfortable about your estimate. I was just looking at some of the numbers, like on your Ts and stuff. Was that inclusive of installation? Like, an 8x4 reducer, he had one at $200. It just seems kinda low to me. Okay. I don't know, you guys probably, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the stuff at all.
I don't know the numbers, but
Right. Those are, to me, those are just material costs, but your line footage
Was up there?
should cover it, I
Yeah.
would think, yeah.
yeah, it was like $88.
$87 a foot, which,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
okay. I'm not shocked by the number, to be honest with you.
No, it wasn't either.
I mean, we've been saying $1 million all along, so.
I was just gonna say that if we are gonna do both next year, I don't really see much reason to do it in two separate phases. Just to
all
save,
about-
just save mobilization fees, but
Yeah, probably get a little bit better number if we throw it all to them, but I don't,
if we're gonna do it all, but if we're not, then we're not.
Well, if we send it out, will they bid it all or just phase one and then get a phase?
You can send it out as phase 1 and 2, and you can ask them for a phase 1 number and a phase 2 number and a
Okay.
total number.
So it's August now, so when will we wanna do this? Are we talking October?
do you have permits from IDEM and everything? Everything?
You tell us when you're ready, we're gonna,
But you got all your permits from IDEM?
I think we do.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's all budget thing, you know, I don't,
Well, Becky's about ready to start budget, so let's get through September and see where our budget is.
yep.
Yeah.
Bob's gonna need to know how we're gonna bid it, so he can put the docs together and, you know, if it's gonna be an alternate, or if we're just
Right.
gonna try to do the whole kit and caboodle, so,
I think it should be an alternate.
yeah, well, his number's gonna be pretty close. That's,
Well,
alternate's typically not a
but-
whole second phase, is
No,
what I'm
but you
getting
gotta
at.
pay for it. And the question is, do we have enough money, or
I
we're gonna have to
get
go
it.
into riverboat,
I get it.
you know? The whole idea is to get the utilities to stand on their own, so.
It's up to you. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, and she guards that riverboat money.
I get it, she should. She should.
Yep, good for her. Okay, Sean had a tooth problem today, so he left early. He, Mountain Avenue North and South, it's at the CAD final review is what he told me, and so I take it they must be, is that IMPA reviewing that, or is Alpha? Who is that?
Alpha's
Alpha.
doing, Alpha.
So I think it's going through their final review process before giving it to us, is the way I understood it. IMPA electric ordinance audit, Anthony, he said you had the information on that?
Yeah, I'm still reviewing that. I need to meet with Brooklyn before I can update the board.
Okay. Good news, the tennis pickleball court update. Stone is in place, 2,200 tons, and we were within all of our numbers. It met compaction. We relocated the, help me out, the electric conduit, because it was inappropriately underneath the fence, and when they installed a fence, to punch through the conduit in a couple places. So we got all that fixed and moved, and the lights all work, so that's all good news. We're awaiting Omera to come back and start the concrete sidewalks, correct? Yes. Yep, and then they'll come in and pave after that, so. all moving right along, I like to say. All right, Structure Point Water Plant Evaluation Plan. Spoke to Karen Savidra this week. They are finalizing the cost estimate and preparing a draft report to have to us in the next couple weeks. So that's starting to pick up pace again. All right, the Valley Woods Dam storm outfall. We've been doing that with Bear Becker. Steve and I met with Mark Rosenberger, I guess that was last week. And did he say he was 70% complete about there?
I want to say so, yeah.
Yeah. So
60, I think it was 60.
yeah, Steve made a couple changes, and that, hopefully you'll have that done within the next month as well. And again, that is an MS4, that is a stormwater project, so it's imperative that we get the stormwater rate, utility rate in place. Mike McLaughlin.
I'm one council.
Okay, all right. St. Elizabeth Drainage Project. I spoke to Mike Reza this week. They've awarded the notice to proceed. The contractor told him that it will most likely be a September start date. So, hoping to see that take off here shortly. And our favorite, Anthony, the Valley Woods Drainage. You're up.
The board had a question about the drainage on Indian Woods Trail
Springwood Court.
in Springwood Court. I did take a look at them, and I looked at the case law, and my advice to the board would be to go ahead and take responsibility for fixing the drainage on both of those roads. The drainage features are largely within the public right-of-way. On both of them, we've already installed the drainage and it needs to be fixed. So that's my advice.
Okay, however, once we fix it, we're gonna require the homeowner to keep it maintained, correct? Is that what we've discussed?
Well, in terms of like trimming grass and stuff, but,
Yeah.
but for maintaining the actual
Stonage.
storm,
Right.
that's our responsibility.
Agreed, but what we're concerned about is the homeowners letting the trees grow up into it and that kind of stuff. That's what there becomes the problem, so.
Question, then the stormwater system, is it outside, it's outside the right of way? Right, so
Well,
it's-
there's a drainage easement on Springwood Court.
There is?
Yeah, where you installed the,
Going
new
up the hill on the
riprap
right or the left?
on the right.
Okay, the big
There-
one.
There's the right-of-way, then there's a 20-foot drainage easement.
Okay.
Problem is the homeowner didn't take care of any of the vegetation, and it's 20 feet tall now.
Right.
Really, that's on the homeowner to, unless there's something that prevents the homeowner from going into a certain area, they need to take care of that.
So are you suggesting we send our guys in to get it cleaned up initially, and then we're not gonna do it again? Or you think we should send the homeowner a letter and require him to clean them up?
But I think if we're fixing this, we might as well go ahead and cut it, clean it all up now, but the homeowner needs to be put on notice that they need to make sure that the vegetation remains cleaned up.
That we're not gonna do it again?
We need to send them notices if it gets,
A good example is if you're cutting the grass on your house on Parkside, you're cutting to the back of the curb. That's in the city right away, but you're still cutting to the grass. I think there's,
and that's all over the city. Everyone
Right.
maintains to the road, they don't, yeah.
to the right of way.
Yeah.
And I think.
Excuse me, you're right, to the improvement. I'm sorry, Michael.
No, I interrupted you. And I think it's in the covenants and restrictions that any kind of, however a rural development termed it, that it's a responsibility of the homeowner to maintain those.
Natural drainage ways.
Thank you, yeah,
Remember
you
that.
have a better term for it. But Vince, I have a question for you though, so the homeowner's taking care of it, I understand if it's a natural, but if you go up Indian Trail Woods where the city put in all the stone and now there's debris all over it, is that the responsibility of the homeowner? Is that what you're gonna say? And I don't know, but I think you're gonna have that question.
That's why we have percolated on this for 3 or 4 months. It's just, there's so many what-ifs on this deal.
Well, part of the problem is, the road stops it on the one side, but on the homeowner's side, it's lower. So when the water comes down and falls over, it's been going around those,
Riprap.
yeah, riprap dams. And so, we've got to get it to the point where it's, roughly the same as the road, or it's always gonna go that way. Or those riprap has to be lower in order for it not to go around the right-hand side.
And the other problem, like on Springwood, is the riprap alone is not staying in place. It's getting washed.
Yeah.
So,
We're talking on the right-hand side going up?
right,
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah, because they said on the left-hand side, we put in concrete on the driveways.
Yeah,
Okay,
on
so the
Springwood
homeowners on the
Court.
right saying, well,
Going up the left side, we redid
Again,
the
Springwood Court?
Springwood Court.
Okay.
The right-hand side, even up at the top, we put in like these erosion blocks, if you will, that are in the grass. And then we had to reset a bunch of elevations on some of the culverts and stuff, so we had to tear out people's approaches. I mean, you can't, you gotta make it work, you know?
No, agreed, but did we do it in-house, or did we contract it
No,
out?
we contracted that out.
Okay.
No.
But-
Guys are just too swamped up.
No, I
with all
get
the
it. That-
honeydews, you know?
So the riprap covered with just a little concrete
Lock it in?
stays in place.
Yeah,
It's not the best looking thing.
that stuff's been there. You're talking at the very top of the hill on the right?
So if you go up, say, New 48, the drainage ditches along New 48, say from the bottom of New 48 going up
Mm-hmm.
on the right, it's all riprap ditch, and then they've just got a thin
Slurry.
layer of concrete on it, and it just stays in
It's
place.
like 3 different versions on Springwood Court. I'm doing this from memory, but if you go up on the right, that stuff's been there forever. I don't think I ever touched that, but if you went up, what's his name's driveway, where there was just riprap, I think we threw some, is there some slurry in that, I think?
Might be.
I think.
and what did they do on 350? I've never seen, that was new.
That's flexing that. That's some pretty good stuff.
And I was thinking, is that cheaper?
I think it's that.
But again, Vince, I think you're gonna have to find out from the homeowner on Indian Trail Woods, because I think what's happened, that has never been cleaned up. It gets filled with debris, and I think to John's point, it gets full and it shoots left or right. And, if it is a home, I'm okay with that, you just need to let them know.
Couple things Michael just said, with those slopes and the velocities and the amount of water it's going down, and you need to make sure, you just can't throw anything at it, because it needs to be able to dissipate the energy. So you
Sure.
need to do some analysis, and look at what type of fix that you need to install. I mean, there's all sorts of different type riprap that you can put in there, type D up to type A's, which is as big as a hood as your car. But, I mean, I remember we did that with Indian Woods Trail. We had an engineering company do an analysis that came up with those gabions that we put in there. And the gabions used to go over to the yards, and it worked out pretty good. But I think over time, water coming off people's driveways or front yards, it started finding the path of least resistance and started getting around the edges and started undermining it, so.
I mean, you're right. When we've had some of this water, it's a lot of water, and it just fills up to the top, and it can't go into the road, so it's gonna go the other way.
Here's the other problem with those gabion baskets, and I remember we were fighting with it. We went up there, believe it or not, with torches. But I forgot what those things were called. You got the gabion baskets, and you got the step downs, and then just debris, leaves and sticks and all sorts of stuff would get on the face of that rock, and the water would be going down, and it'd hit that and just shoot off to the side and start undermining it. So they're a maintenance nightmare.
It is. It
But
is a maintenance.
you've got to have that stuff. If not, Charlie, I wasn't here when that happened, but they said they had a storm, and there was huge boulders at the bottom of the hill at Indian Woods Trail. When I got here, the ditch was this thick, just from erosion, and that's what started the whole project. So I don't know how to answer that question,
Well, and again, it goes back to, this is an MS4 project, it's gonna be a stormwater project, and we're looking at fixing Indian Hill trails, or is it Indian Woods Trail?
Indian Woods.
And what's the other one?
Springwood Court.
Court, Valley Woods Dam, a bunch of our box culverts around here in town that need to be repaired. Our list is growing. And on top of that, the state's gonna mandate even more next year, correct, Alan? Yeah, so
What mandate more for you in the MS4, or what?
Yeah,
Yeah, they ramp up.
They're updating the permit, they're gonna modify the permit for next, so our permit ends in 26, so we're gonna have to reapply, and there's different mandates that they're updating, so.
Have you had to start doing all your, dry weather monitoring?
This fall, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we just had our first audit and we killed it. We killed it. Absolutely.
Kudos,
So,
man. Good job.
nice job.
Yeah.
So compared to how the county did, and was it Lawrenceburg that had a few black eyes? We did well. We did really well.
Good.
So that was big. Okay.
But Mayor, I think what you're saying is, it's gonna be a lot of expense. We need to explain this to the public when you
Oh,
go
yeah.
back and
I think we
say,
just need
this
to
is
get a
what.
plan together to explain to the public, this is what we're gonna do.
Well, this is why we're doing the MS4 utility rate.
Right.
We can't keep absorbing these costs.
Right.
So, just part of it. Okay. Tanner Garage Drain Grate, I'm gonna meet him tomorrow morning at 7:30, and he's gonna attack this the first week of September. And that is, Complete Contractors, Randy Schnabel. In your packet, you'll see a list of everything we sold up at Lutz's auction, which I thought was a home run. We did really well, and glad to get some of that stuff cleaned up and out of the garage, which really worked out good for the MS4 audit too, so that was good. Okay. All right, Anthony, I'm going to let you open these. Sean's not here. So we're gonna open a bid for the exercising of water valves.
Do I need to make copies?
And he sent it out to Everett J. Prescott and M.E. Simpson Company. Those were the only two that provided this service, and we only got one of them back. And this appears to be Mary Street to to the cemetery, I guess. So that's the area we're going. Looks like your handwriting.
It is.
Yeah, so-
We used, I think, the same, I'll call it sub-watersheds for the sewer system, and we just decided to go ahead and start doing valve exercising. If I recall, we did areas 1 and 2. Nate was doing some of that work. He was going around. Charlie, I think you were around when we did some of that, if I'm not mistaken. We had that group come in and spend
Has there any of them
those
fixed?
Huh?
Has there been any of them fixed or replaced or?
Can't answer it.
Don't know. I can take you to a map and show you the ones that I put in red.
There's gotta be a lot of red ones.
Yeah. Okay, Anthony?
Yep, so the only bid we have is from M.E. Simpson Inc., M.E. Simpson Co. Inc., and the total cost is $23,159.
Say it one more time.
$23,159.
Do you know how many valves are in, did they have?
Yeah, they broke it down. This is mobilization 3550. We've got 28 4-inch valves, 42 6-inch valves, 24 8-inch valves, 4 10-inch, and 3 12. Then we've got 3550 for demobilization.
They charge you to take it home too. Good Lord.
100 valves.
Personally, if I can speak for Charlie and Andy, but I think exercising our valves are absolutely critical. You have to stay on it. You have to be very careful, but you gotta have valves at work, and if you don't, you got a mess. And you've been on a couple water
Oh,
main
yeah, I have.
breaks that the valves aren't working. And these things are old, and the best way to do it is to have a company that's versed in it and do it right. Is Lawrenceburg still doing their own?
They just bought a new machine.
Do they?
It's close to $100,000.
Oh, there's a machine that does this.
Oh, yeah. It comes off the back of a truck, and they get on it, and it counts the number of spins, and you can gauge it to where it won't
Oh,
absolutely
I
try
thought
to
it was
crank
just
it.
a man going out there.
Oh, no.
Okay.
He looked like Hulk Hogan, man.
Yeah.
All right.
It does say, just for the minutes, it does say that if they discover other valves while they're in the area, they provided a unit price. It's the same for every size that I read. It's $159 per valve.
And they're given a report and everything, right? I believe. There's a detailed report, and I think it comes on a thumb drive. I think they even GPS them.
Say, I think they'll GPS it.
It does say that they,
shape file,
does
so
say
you
that they GPS it.
Yeah.
And,
They do say they GPS it, right?
yeah,
That's who we did.
Trailer mount.
Yeah.
That's who
Vacuum
we
and all.
used, I think, on Area 1 and 2. That was 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah, not very big, but it's not, doesn't need to be very big for what it's for.
I don't see anything about a report, but I assume, oh, here's the proposal, let me see.
Kind of deliverable.
Somebody's gonna have to be with them.
Say it again?
Someone's gonna have to be with them
Okay.
Someone that,
and watch how much torque
yeah.
they're putting on these valves.
Okay.
I just circled one. You need to tell him about the one that did yours. There's another one.
Does he wanna know about the
Yeah.
Well, and they know what they can do and what they can't do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what they do.
It
so.
says they're going to prepare a, maintenance, progression valve report and a final report on all valve documentation.
Perfect.
It also can be helpful when they're exercising, if you can open, a couple hydrants up in the area, just to get water moving through those valves.
Flush them.
It just helps to clean the valve seat out while they're going up and down. And
Great idea.
You may get some dirty water, but it's worth it.
Clean valves by opening fire hydrants?
Yeah, crack some hydrants close to where they're exercising. That's a good point. Becky, you got money? Is there? I'm sorry, I'm putting dumping on you. We used to put money in the operations. I just don't know.
We've got it in water.
Okay, I'll make a recommendation to engage with M.E. Simpson for $23,159 to exercise the valves in area number 3.
Okay.
Second.
Got a first and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Wonderful. Okay, a couple more things. Erin Markway asked me to bring this in front of the Board of Works. She would like to see a crosswalk installed from Robinson across Ridge, so children, parents, bikers could get to First Tracks to go down and get ice cream. So what it amounts to, if we do it right at Robinson, there's only gonna have to be one curb cut on the east side of Ridge. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't know about that. I mean, why don't we want to go up to the intersection where the light is and at a
I think that'd be safer.
much, yeah. I
don't know. Someone must have put this together and gave it to her, I don't know.
It's safer to do it at a traffic light than in the middle.
We'd want to do it mid-block
Okay.
like that. I wouldn't.
I wonder why she came up with that. Are there curb cuts there or for a wheelchair at the light?
I think that's where people are crossing already.
If you do
There's
it,
already a
if you do it at the
sidewalk there.
light, you're gonna have to, everything's gonna have to go through NDOT.
Well,
Yeah.
what was her thinking? Do you know, Ryan, why she wanted it there?
I think that's where people are already crossing, and you get to.
Oh, you're saying that,
Yeah, like the
that's,
Jiu-Jitsu studios right there, and then, like, it's not just First Tracks, but there are people crossing there to get to other businesses.
I see what you're saying.
But,
Okay.
I mean, you know how an NDOT project is. It's gonna be crosswalk lights and buttons and new poles and new.
If we put it at the light, or if we put it,
At the light.
so it'd be cheaper to put it at
You might be able to get
Robinson.
NDOT to do it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know how that is too. It's gonna be 6 years.
Yeah.
You just got to think about where you're putting this. You're going to be promoting people to be crossing at a mid-block, and then
So do
you
we have
put-
to have a traffic engineering?
Well, I'm just saying, if you put a crosswalk across there, people that are going up there are required to stop. That's a state law, and you're only from here to not even the building from a stoplight, right?
Right.
Probably shorter. I don't know. I think someone could.
Less than 300
You know,
feet.
I'm not a traffic engineer. I've dealt with this enough, but I'd be concerned about trying to put a crosswalk at that location.
Well, you put one, I mean, MGP, they got one
I
coming
know.
out their front door.
I know.
Well, and we
Then we
we
got
have
one at the trail,
Tiger Trail.
then you got one at the memorial.
And if you have people already crossing there anyway, which would make sense to make it safer if they're already going.
Well, okay,
I've said my piece.
I hear you. So where do we get someone to put the blessing on this? So we have a traffic engineer? Is that the route we have to go? I mean, guys, I'm asking.
I'm not convinced, so, I mean,
I'm just not a fan of putting crosswalks in middle of roads, not
Right.
near where you have roads that are controlled by either stoplights or stop signs or something. That's, you're opening up a
Can of worms.
can of worms.
All right, how about we just table this one?
Well, no, I don't want to table it. I mean, if it's something that there's people, I don't want to promote people's crossing there. We want to make it safe for them. I mean, but I think maybe we ought to reach out to NDOT and say, hey, look, maybe make a poll with them and say, hey, look, you got an intersection here, it's not compliant with ADA. Can you help us out here and, maybe do a fast track, see if they can get a little ADA curb cuts there and, maybe they don't have to do all this, whatever, push button, voice activated kind of stuff, There's probably different levels that they have to do that kind of stuff. It's not like you're downtown Cincinnati. So,
but to your point, it's not that far away.
No, not at all.
All right.
no, it's,
Well, I know who to call. I'll give her a call tomorrow. Okay. Lastly, the soccer club has reached out and asked, the temporary speed bumps, you didn't call them humps, you called them bumps, right?
speed tables.
No, they're not tables, they're just,
Like what's in the alleys.
yes, like what's in the alley. The ones we have over in storage at the garage that Weiss bought a couple years back.
Okay.
They would like to have them installed down at the soccer field because the soccer field is just booming. There's a lot, they want to slow it down because the kids and a lot of people running through, so I think that's a good idea. So they've asked if we could install them down there, so,
Better than being in the,
storage.
yeah,
Yeah.
not doing a lot of good there, are they?
No, so Anthony, is it Connie? Anthony Caney, who is the soccer club president, has asked me, so we're gonna go down and meet with him Monday, and I'll take Nate down there and we'll see what we can do for him. So they just wanted our blessing if we could use them, because as you and I did some investigative work, that we can either use them at the pool or the soccer field, and I know Linda does not want them at the pool. So, yeah. Speaking of the pool, how'd your event go last night?
Great. Twice as many, mutts. Cows made almost $600.
Was that
No
last
dog
night?
fights.
Was that last night?
They're not supposed to be on mine.
No, we're gonna pass.
Great deal of dog feces.
Yeah, yes, in the water.
In and out of the water.
Yeah. No, it's good.
It was a success.
Good.
That's great.
Yeah, that is great. Thank you for doing that for them. Good for Paul. Okay, that's all I've got. Miss
We've
Becky,
got the Stellar Streetscape Engineering Services.
we're going to do that in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
So. All right. Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Got a first,
Second.